Former Jude Bellingham coach tells Liverpool what will decide transfer. Liverpool are being increasingly linked with a potential blockbuster deal for Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's former Birmingham City coach believes his next career move will be a football decision as links to Liverpool continue to intensify. Mike Dodds, who oversaw Bellingham's rise from a 7-year-old in the Birmingham academy right through to their first team, says the Liverpool transfer target will make a strategic and long-term decision about what he does at the end of the season. Jurgen Klopp is a known admirer of the Borussia Dortmund teenager, and the Reds have been repeatedly linked with a move, with reports emerging from Germany this week that Klopp's side are leading the race to sign the £100m rated teenager. Dodds, who now works at Sunderland, reckons Bellingham's choice won't be motivated by how much he can earn and instead says the 19-year-old's plan will be well thought out by him and his parents. When he left Birmingham, he had a lot of choices and he had a lot of decisions to make, and the decision he made was a footballing decision, Dodds told Sky Sports News. Now whether he decides to stay in Germany or whether he decides to move back to England or whatever club, that decision will be a football decision, it won't be a financial decision. It won't be an egotistical decision, if that's the right phrase to use. Whatever decision he makes, it will be calculated, it will be really well thought out. He will think about all the pros and cons and he'll make the best decision for what is the next stage of his career. A report from Sport Bild in Germany this week claimed Bellingham's parents, Mark and Denise, would prefer their son to choose Liverpool over Real Madrid next summer, although Dortmund are reluctant to lose their star man without a fight, having seen Erling Haaland's £51 million release clause triggered by Manchester City earlier this year. Any move for the England international would almost certainly be a club record one at Anfield, with Virgil van Dijk's £75 million switch from Southampton nearly 5 years ago still holding that particular accolade. Darwin Núñez arrived in the summer for an initial fee of £64 million from Benfica, and the Uruguay forward may eventually cost Liverpool £85 million if all his add-ons are unlocked. Bellingham, however, is being tipped for a move worth at least £100 million next summer, despite Dortmund's desire to keep him in the Bundesliga. Dodds, who now works at Sunderland, added, "I've said this to quite a few people, Jude's had a real upward trajectory in terms of leaving Birmingham, going to Borussia Dortmund and now the World Cup tournament, and he hasn't really made many mistakes. I think when those mistakes do come, because he is still such a young man, how do we support him as a nation? How do we support him from a media perspective? Because if we get those junctions right and we support him in the right way, I think you've got one of the best players in world football, in my personal opinion. But there's still going to be so many challenges and hurdles he needs to get over to get to that point. He's still only 19, he's still a teenager, and he's not 20 until June. But, the performances alone, regardless of age, his performances alone would suggest that he's on that trajectory to become one of the best. I'm massively proud but also not surprised. Every hurdle that seems to come in his way he demolishes it, so massively proud but not overly surprised if I am honest. He was 7 when I first coached him, and I know everyone says how young he is at the World Cup, so that makes me feel really old, to be honest with you. He was 7 and a talented boy. Would I have predicted at that age he'd go on and achieve what he's achieved so far? Definitely not, but he was a talented boy who loved football, and like most 7-year-olds, he ran around with a smile on his face. Off the pitch, he's so relaxed and a calm character, and what you see on camera is how he is, but when he steps over that line he wants to be the very best. He was like that as a young boy. He would always let you know when he was unhappy, and he wanted to be the best at everything he turned his hand to.